What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wolfpack Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, as always, is apparently my one co-host, Mike Laplante. What's going on, man?
That lasted all of 10 seconds. I was going to say, are you going to welcome our co-host to Mike's screen?
Yeah, it's storming here in Wisconsin, raining pretty hard, so Ike is having some technical difficulties, so he might be in and out here. So, LaPlante, how you doing tonight, pal?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm at a buddy's house right now. Doing our thing, talking fantasy football. I'm excited to be here talking fantasy with you, man. Week 14, fantasy playoffs coming up.
Big important week this week for a lot of people's teams. I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. And please subscribe to wherever you get your podcast. We're on Apple, Spotify, wherever. Pretty much, we could jump into the Thursday night recap. Pretty exciting game after the first half. Minnesota ended up beating the Steelers 36-28. They had like a 23-0 lead, LaPlante, right? The Vikings did?
Yeah, I think it was 25 at one point.
Yeah, that was crazy. Kirk Cousins in a primetime game like he always is, man. He was 14 of 31 for 216, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions that
Dalvin Cook had a massive night.
Yeah. Yep.
After tearing his labrum. I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, that was crazy. Cook had 27. Eddie had 27 attempts, man. 27 attempts for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he was just
insane.
Absolute stud.
I can't even explain how he did that. Literally 11 days out of tearing his labrum. They put some fancy machine on his shoulder and boom, he's out there almost did he actually reach 200 total yards? I know he had one. He had
205 rushing yards.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. He the first half, Mike, you and I could have gained 4 or 5 yards on these holes that he was running through, man. It was crazy what the offensive line was doing to the Steelers' defensive line.
I know. There's a reason they've been allowing the most points to running backs in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, totally. And the Vikings' offensive line isn't a slouch either, so.
It's not. But it's not as great as, it's probably middle of the pack when it comes to the NFL.
Sure. Just go ahead and ignore the dogs barking in the background. The receiving options for the Vikings, we thought KJ Osborne was going to get a little more work with Adam Thielen being gone, and that was the case. He saw 9 targets, only caught 3 of them, but had 83 yards. But he caught a long touchdown, which saved his night on one of the only good passes.
Oh, man, it was a satisfying touchdown, too.
Yes, it was. Justin Jefferson continued his fantasy dominance as well. He had 7 receptions on 15 targets, 75 yards, and a touchdown. So you definitely weren't upset with what he brought to the table last night. That's for sure.
He's hands down number 1 wide receiver in Dynasty going forward, man. This guy's a stud.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with DK kind of falling off the map a little bit with Russell Wilson.
Where do you think he goes in redraft next year?
Oh, man. He's going to be up there, I think. Especially with Adam Thielen getting another year. Yeah, especially with Adam Thielen getting another year older. Probably going to get, another year more injury prone. I hate saying it, but it's true.
Yeah, I hope not.
But yeah, he's going to probably be an early second rounder.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You might even see him late first rounds in some leagues.
Who does he go behind, you think? Devontae Adams and then
it's hard with Devontae because it's up in the air with Aaron right now.
That's true as well. And then obviously you got Tyreek Hill and you
got Stephon Diggs. So Stephon Diggs will probably be the one guy he might be behind just because he's locked in with Josh Allen.
Yeah, for sure. We can jump over to the Steelers now. We could just pretty much jump over Tyler Conklin.
We can just jump over the first half for the Steelers.
Totally. Big Ben ended up being decent again, man. That's 3 straight weeks. Or 3 out of 4 weeks he's been a top 8 quarter. Well, the week's not over yet, but you know what I'm saying. 2 out of 3 weeks he was a top 8 quarterback, and this might be another one finishing with 24 fantasy points.
Yeah, this could be one of his few finishes as a QB1 this year.
Yeah. Najee Harris bounced back. It was good for our dynasty team that we do together. 20 attempts, 94 yards, and a touchdown.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, looked really good at times.
Looked really bad in that first half, guys. I swear, if you had the option to rewatch this game, just skip over that first half.
Yeah,
it was all just Dalvin Cook.
Absolutely. Then the receiving options, they all had decent days. Claypool caught 8 of 9 balls for 93 yards. Had a very controversial catch at the end of the game where he decided to pose for the first down instead of running up to the line of scrimmage when they had no timeouts with about 30 seconds left.
That's brutal. After watching that, that cost him at least 10 seconds, and everyone saw that game. If you didn't, it came down to the final play. They had a shot at the end zone to tie the game. And go ahead.
He blamed it on his offensive lineman in his
he blamed it on his offensive. It's like, come on, dude, just stop celebrating. You need to spike the ball. You could have had 2 shots at the end zone right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ben got the ball out in 2 seconds.
Yep. Claypool's being a punk, man.
A little bit.
Deante Johnson had 5 catches, 76 yards, so 10 targets as well. James Washington was one of the guys who caught a touchdown. Najee Harris caught a touchdown, and then Freiermuth caught a touchdown. And then, unfortunately, on that last play, he just couldn't come up with the ball.
Oh, man, that would have made everybody's night, him catching that second one. I know it would have made mine in Warrior Bowl.
I hear you there, man. But that does it for the Thursday game. We got 4 teams on bye this week: Colts, Eagles, Dolphins, Patriots. And then just some quick news on that. Myles Gaskin tested positive for COVID today. Mike, did you see that?
Yes, I did. He is vaccinated, though.
Yep. Okay. So a good chance he plays next week, but obviously just keep an eye because his status is unclear.
All right. Well, let's welcome into the show our third co-host here, Mr. Ike Bonney. Sorry.
It's going to last like maybe a minute. I know it, bro.
We already gave the viewers the gist of your whole storm situation.
Sweet.
Yeah, please fix the light behind you that's glaring into my eyes.
Just
too,
stick your head right
there. That works. Keep your head
right here.
I'm gonna take from Dylan.
It's a shit show, bro.
It's week 14 and we still don't got this shit together. We'll get it eventually.
Yep. 100%. Why don't you take us into our first game, Mike?
Well, I was gonna say I can go over some quick injuries here real quick.
Okay.
So QBs, Joe Burrow with that finger and knee. He didn't practice Wednesday, but he is expected to fight through and play. Andy Dalton's questionable with the hand, but it doesn't matter because Justin Fields is getting the start. Jalen Hurts is on bye, but watch that with his ankle. That could be big. More Gardner Minshew time. Jared Goff has an illness. Same with TJ Hawkinson. And then Ike, don't catch that illness. And then we got Deandre Swift with the shoulder injury. He's going to be out. Aaron with the toe. People are calling it Tovid. It's fine. Danny Dimes is out with the neck. Mike Lennon, he is cleared of concussion protocol, so he's probably going to be the starter. Austin Eckler was limited Wednesday. Joe Mixon was questionable with the illness. He's expected to play. Tony Pollard's questionable with the game time decision with his foot. Ike, did you want to say something right there?
No, it's a lot of players so far.
Oh my gosh, it's still going.
Oh man, let's talk. Hold on, sorry to interrupt you. I want to talk about that Tony Pollard injury a little bit. On that 58-yard run last week, he tears his plantar fascia, man. So that's totally gonna dag him the rest of the season.
Oh yeah,
totally 100% sucks.
It does.
Both running backs in the danger zone.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, we got Mark Ingram. He went to the reserve COVID list, and then we got Melvin Gordon. He was questionable with a limited practice Thursday with the hip, so it's looking like he's trending towards playing. J.D. McKissick questionable with the concussion. He had a limited practice Thursday, so that's not good for Antonio Gibson.
Not gonna have anybody to play.
Elijah Mitchell has been ruled out with his concussion as well. Saquon Barkley questionable with ankle. Limited practice Thursday. He's expected to play. David Montgomery questionable with the shoulder. He's also expected to play. Tevin Coleman has been ruled out with the concussion. Two.
Just the thing on Montgomery, he was announced that he will play. Same with Allen Robinson.
You said Swift was out, right?
Yeah, Swift is out with that shoulder.
And
Jamal Williams, yes, he went to the COVID IR list. So it looks like
that's why Sean picked that dude up. And
Jamar Jefferson?
And
no.
Iwagbugwe?
I'm
sorry, I probably just absolutely butchered his name, man. So if you're listening to the podcast, I apologize.
He doesn't mean it, though. He's just going to say it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Moving on, we got James Robinson was questionable with the heel and knee. He didn't practice Thursday, but he's most likely a go. Kenyon Drake, big news. He's going to the IR with a broken ankle. Looks like Josh Jacobs is going to have a big workload coming down the stretch with
9 targets last time.
Yeah, Jalen Richard on the COVID IR list as well. Kenyon Drake injured. Then you got Peyton Barber only having 5 total snaps last week. So go Josh Jacobs owners. Darrell Henderson's questionable with the thigh. He had a limited practice Thursday. You know, if he's out, we're plugging in Sony Michel. Jordan Howard's out with the knee. Miles Sanders questionable with the ankle. Moving on to some wide receivers. DK Metcalf didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday with the foot. T. Higgins ankle. He is expected to play, but, fighting through all these injuries. Keenan Allen, he's on the COVID reserve list.
He was ruled out today. Yep,
he was ruled out today. Mike Williams still has a chance. I've been seeing positive notes about him testing negative.
Yep.
You got Curtis Samuel questionable with the groin, limited practice Thursday. Jarvis Landry questionable with the knee, limited practice Thursday as well. Devonte Adams questionable with the hamstring, limited practice Thursday, but he's expected to play. Randall Cobb's going to be out, core muscle injury. He should be out a while. Honestly, it's to the point we could probably drop him, guys, for the rest of the fantasy.
100%. He shouldn't even be rostered. Anyways.
I mean, he was rosterable. It was just a pain in the ass to play him weeks. Cooper Kupp, this one popped up. Questionable with the toe, limited practice Thursday.
McVay said he'll be fine.
Yeah, this one's not a big one, but I'd monitor it. Debo Samuel, questionable with the groin, didn't practice Thursday. Sterling Shepard, God, I need a drink. This one's a fun one. I'm going to group them all together. Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay, all questionable. Sterling with the ankle, Toney with an oblique, Galladay with the ribs. All limited practice Thursdays. Keep an eye on that. Elijah Moore, questionable with the quad, limited practice Thursday. Julio Jones had a full practice log this Wednesday. Some tight ends.
Done yet?
No. Zach Ertz, questionable with the limited. He was limited Thursday. Logan Thomas went to the IR with the knee. Ricky Seals-Jones, questionable with the hip, limited practice, and now we are done.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was quite a lot, boys. But we can jump into our Game 14 previews if you want.
All right. Dallas Cowboys at the Washington football team. Washington's coming in hot, guys. Winning is it 3 in a row, right?
I believe so, yes. And their defense turned it around ever since Chase Young went out. It makes no sense.
It totally makes no sense. Taylor Heineke has been a solid QB2. How do you like him in this matchup, Mike?
Hold on, I need to get my headphones in.
What plan? How do you like Heineke?
I like him in this matchup. This is a good streaming week for him. Dallas Cowboys are expected to put up points. The running game's beat up. Zeke and Tony Pollard, man. They're not looking good right now. They're getting Amari back after this, week of not being conditioned from COVID. They got CD. This is going to be the first week with all 3 healthy receivers. I like it because Dallas is going to put some points on the football team. I can already see it. And Heineke's going to have to throw it. And if he gets McKissick back, that helps him a little bit. The only thing really your downside with Heineke is the weapons are starting to get depleted with, Logan Thomas, Ricky Seals-Jones, Curtis Samuel's questionable. How do you feel like with your headphones in?
I don't think Dallas is going to have that easy of a time throwing the ball or even offensively. This defense is doing really good now. Yeah,
they definitely are playing.
And it's not like they're playing against bad players, quarterbacks necessarily. I mean, a few weeks ago it was Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least they can stop somebody.
Let's move on to Antonio Gibson now that your headphones are in, Ike. Do you think this workload stays for Gibson the rest of the season?
Not with McKissick healthy, no.
Yeah, I think it's been a product of McKissick being out.
You guys sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm leaning like 75-25. I think there's a 25% chance that Antonio Gibson gets the same workload. It's dependent on McKissick. Do they plan on working him in? Because if he's still, harboring this concussion and he's still lingering from it, I think they give that workload to Gibson still. Mm-hmm. But as soon as McKissick's healthy, we've seen it. He's a part of their offense. It is what it is, guys.
And then last question here from the Washington Football Club. Terry McLaurin really struggling these last few weeks. Should fantasy owners be worried heading into playoff time? You shaking your head? No,
I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't be worried.
I think the injury to Logan Thomas helps. He's just going to get hyper targeted now.
Okay, fair enough. Jumping over to Dallas. Like we talked about, man, Zeke's hurt. Tony Pollard
noticeably hurt.
Game time decision for Tony Pollard.
Did you see him on like that 8 or 10 yard run? He looked so slow.
Yeah, he did.
Zeke.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Big time.
And he's running out of bounds now and stuff when he used to go for contact.
I know. God damn, he's looking like Emmitt Smith.
Bingo.
I just want to throw something out in the stratosphere. Corey Clement is the third string running back for Dallas. And with Tony Pollard being banged up and Zeke being banged up, that's just someone to keep in mind for the fantasy playoffs. Because if Zeke or Pollard miss time, he could be pretty relevant, especially running behind one of the better offensive lines in football, man.
He's a good stash for a playoff team.
Yeah, it's very deep, very deep. But yeah, I skipped over Dak. He's a bust start. And then Laplante, I want you to rank Dallas's wide receivers.
CD, Amari, Gallup.
You have Amari over Gallup still, eh?
Yes, I think it's because of the COVID. I think Amari's still he's gonna slightly edge out Gallup in the target share.
And then one more question for you because it appears Ike is gone again.
No.
Dalton Schultz, Laplante, starting to come back down to earth with the 3 wide receivers now in the game. I know Amari missed last week, right? No, he did play last week, yes. So Schultz is starting to take a hit. He's somewhat I'm worried about rest of the season with Gallup back. Do you agree with me?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He was thriving off of the Gallup injury, and now that Gallup is back, those targets are being distributed back.
Especially because Gallup is a red zone threat, I feel, as well, man. And that's kind of where Schultz thrived at times. But
it was more of the safety valve, in my opinion. But, you need a safety valve in the red zone.
Sure. Anything else to add, or we jump into the next one?
I think we could jump into the next one here. Seattle Seahawks at the Houston Texans.
Big giant slobber knocker. You can take the lead on this one.
Oh, man. Yeah, thank you for that one. We got Russell Wilson squaring off against David Mills, General Mills here.
I do like Russ in this matchup, man.
I've been saying we had Washington last week. That was supposed to be, a get-right game for him. And he didn't get right.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans defense has been stingy. I think this is one of those trap games for Russell Wilson.
It's a trap.
Exactly.
Nah, I think he'll be okay.
But I
ain't touching this backfield, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on, obviously, your matchups, you're playing Russ. You're not – Adrian Peterson was also ruled out. I don't want to start anybody, even in a running back-deprived league right now.
Rashad Penny – Alex Collins should be active this week.
But Alex Collins wasn't doing anything as it was.
It's not pretty. I know I told you I'd let you take the lead on this one, but I want to ask you this. Lockett or DK rest of the season?
That's a good question. I think I'm going to have to – because this offense is just struggling in general. And when an offense is struggling, the quarterback looks to his favorite target, and his favorite target over the past few years has been Tyler Lockett. And also, bonus – Tyler Lockett doesn't have a foot injury right now. DK Metcalf does have that foot injury lingering. It's causing him not to practice, losing even more time to get that, rebuild that chemistry with Russ because they lost it while he was out. Mm-hmm. So I think Oh man, DK. It's so hard because you drafted him way early, but I think I take Lockett the rest of the season.
100% agree with you, man. Not often we agree, but we agree on that.
But yeah, I mean, you're finding tight ends elsewhere, guys. We don't want to play we don't want to play Gerald Everett.
He got you -1 points last week.
How did he even get -1? What, he fumbled?
Yeah, he fumbled.
Oh gosh. All right, so I mean, you're playing DK Metcalf, man. I mean, my question is like,
still,
like, I mean, are you playing DK Metcalf or Russell Gage after the performance Gage had last week? I think I still got to lean Metcalf.
Yeah, I do too.
You can't play it cute with Metcalf because I know you don't want to hear it, but he's kind of like Mike Williams a little bit. He has those games where he just gets 2 catches for 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has those games where he gets 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. So you don't want to have him on the bench for that.
Agreed.
So let's since you gave me the lead on the Seahawks, I'm going to give you the lead on the Texans.
Well, you're not starting Davis Mills in 1 quarterback leagues. Unfortunately, I'm starting him in a league as my superflex position because
that's the only way it's acceptable.
And I had Daniel Jones hurt, and I had Tua Tagovailoa who was on bye this week, so I had to go to the waiver wire for Davis Mills. Zach Wilson's still out there actually, so I might have to make that swap. Do you agree with that? Would you rather have Wilson against the Saints this week over General Mills?
Man, that's a tough one. I think I'd rather have General Mills. Jets play the Saints. Saints defense. I mean, that's the only thing that is healthy on that team. Their offense, besides Alvin Kamara this week, it's all that is the defense, man.
Mm-hmm. And then for the running backs here, Mike, I know on the Sunday social live stream that we do with Joe, we got a couple questions asked about Rex Burkhead, and we said you could start him. It's not, I mean, start him over not any other good options like
over an AP, over an Adrian Peterson. You know,
you can't start him, Mike. He is getting the carries, but he's literally giving you nothing.
It's this offense, man. This offense is just sputtered out. I mean, even Brandon Cooks is looking tough, man. It's hard to start him nowadays.
I'm not sure you can, Mike.
Even with the target share.
I don't know that you want to start him this week against the Seahawks defense, who is better than advertised. They play 2 high safeties. I'm trying to figure out a way to word this.
Yeah, but you got to remember one of those safeties is Jamal Adams, and he's out for the year.
Yeah. But they play it safe, so sometimes it's kind of hard to throw the ball. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I needed to drink my beer.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, that wraps up the Texans and that game. Moving on to the next crap-filled game, the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Well, Matt Ryan's really bad. And it's causing this offense to be really bad.
Way to just throw him under the bus like that. But yes, he is really bad.
You're starting Cordaro Patterson. Your boy last week, Mike Davis. Had some explosion. Got himself in the end zone.
You call that explosion?
I call his run like he looked fast is what I meant. Like on that play.
He looked all right.
Oh, now you're gonna hate on your guy. I'm
not hating. I'm not hating.
What about your homie? And
I'm not getting sucked back into it.
No, you're not. Because I heard it was listening to the Fantasy 6-Pack Hour. It sounded like AJ was getting sucked in a little bit.
Oh, he is. He is. I'm gonna have to give him a stern talking to about Mike Davis and the disappointments that come with him.
Gotta get it. Yeah, you gotta give him an intervention. But the pass catchers in this offense, you already kind of talked about Russell Gage a little bit earlier, but I gave you shit last time about Gage on this podcast, and he shut me up. I know.
I wish Ike was here so he could apologize.
He's a high-end wide receiver 3 moving forward. I'm okay throwing him in the lineup.
I think he's more matchup dependent than you think because, like you said, Matt Ryan has not been good.
Yeah, he sucks. He sucks.
So this is going to be one of those tougher matchups. I think I don't think he's the high end wide receiver 3 this week. I think he's more the low end wide receiver 3 with the volume. Because the Panthers defense is as good as advertised.
Yeah, tough to throw on too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're starting Kyle Pitts. I mean,
your expectations are tempered, like you just said, a little tough to throw on you. And you don't love what Kyle Pitts has shown you. I want to say he's only been a top 10 tight end in fantasy, I think, 4 times this season, Mike.
Which, I mean, he's a rookie, though. I mean, so.
Yeah, I understand that, but he was drafted as a top 6 tight end. And to only be a top 10 tight end 4 times during the season, unfortunately, that's a disappointment. Those 4 weeks he blew up. The one game in London, he absolutely killed it.
You know that he has, if I remember this stat correctly, he has not received a red zone target since I want to say like week 9.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, they haven't been getting to the red zone.
Yep, that's brutal. Jumping over to the Panthers now. Cam Newton, Mike, this matchup doesn't get a whole lot better than this against Atlanta. He had it done his last game 2 weeks ago. They had a bye last week. Can you throw Superman back into your lineups and feel cool about it?
It's hard to say with Cam Newton because of how bad he's playing when he throws the ball. But the Falcons defense is not that great, and this is going to be a game where he could have multiple scoring opportunities in the red zone. Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey is out for the year. I don't think Chuba Hubbard's going to be – it's going to happen to him just like it happened to McCaffrey.
Don't count out Amir Abdullah, man.
Yeah, I'm with JB after the podcast last night. He said, he's fading Amir Abdullah this week against the Panthers. He thinks it's going to be a Cam Newton week.
Sure.
So I like Cam Newton this week. He's matchup dependent, man, and he's mainly QB2 material.
Mm-hmm. And then you want to ask me about DJ Moore or no?
I want to ask Joe about DJ Moore. I don't know how he's feeling about him right now. I get
you got to play him in this matchup, Mike.
I'm more curious. I mean, yeah, there's not many. Oh, look who decided to join us here again. We got our buddy Ike back from the dead.
Right back on this.
This is my last try.
Right back on the spot, Ike. DJ Moore. What do you think about him in this matchup against Atlanta?
Start all the way.
Real good matchup.
You know who's throwing him the ball? His boy Cam Newton.
Superman.
That means about 3 or 4 picks are coming.
It's gonna be a Taysom Hill night.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really want any other pass catchers in this.
Yeah, offense. I just want to get your quick thoughts on Chuba Hubbard in this matchup. It is a decent matchup for him. I know that you got Cam Newton vulturing his ceiling a little bit, but what about the yardage pass?
I don't like it, Mike. I think it's a split. I know you just said you weren't thrilled with Amir Abdullah, but I think they're going to split. Yeah.
All right.
I got hope for Chuba Hubbard, so.
That's another one of your boys, though.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that pretty much wraps up that game then. I mean, you're not starting Robbie Anderson, guys. Get over him now. I finally got over him. So we'll move.
What a waste, man! I don't know.
It's a waste of a contract. So we'll move on to our next game here. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Dylan, take it away.
Your only person. I don't even want to say the only person you're starting in Jaguars offense is James Robinson because he's an asshole.
So in this game, you're pretty much not starting anybody, yeah?
I mean, I think I'm starting. What's it called? Nakeem Westbrook from Tennessee.
I mean, you have to, sure. With all the injuries you named off.
Wide receiver 3, I guess. Yeah, flex play.
I mean, if Julio's playing, you're playing him.
No, you're not.
I There's nobody else in this Tennessee offense that's healthy.
Dude, he's going to catch like 2 balls, and then there goes his hamstring again.
There is going to be people starting Dontrell Hilliard, though, guys.
That's true.
I'm playing against him in a couple of leagues.
I have to play him in Scott Fishbowl.
Let's talk about his outlook a little bit. Like, how do you feel about – I mean, this matchup doesn't get any better.
I mean,
it does. You can face the Jets.
He can get you 10 points, I think.
I think they got a solid floor. Tennessee's still the same running team. The difference is it's not all one running back getting the workload. It's Dontrell Hilliard and Oh man, who's
Deante Foreman a bit?
Deante Foreman, thank you. It's a split, and that's the way they're gonna roll with it. I mean, they both got lucky, and they both busted a big run last week. It's not gonna happen every week, but if I have to lean one, I think I lean Hilliard just a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, we're done talking about that game. Next one, Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Michael Plant, go ahead, take this one.
Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Last time Patrick Mahomes played this team, he fucking destroyed the Raiders.
Lit him up.
But Mahomes been struggling lately, man. And me and Joe,
the whole offense has.
Yeah, not me and Joe, but Joe and JB talked about it on the podcast last night. Are we actually benching Mahomes?
You're close, but you can't.
Not against the Raiders.
You can't. No, not in this matchup. I agree. Especially after he just tore him up.
Okay, then. So that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, that was his best game these past few weeks. Last time he played him.
Yeah.
Yep. And then so you're starting Tyreek Hill, you're starting Travis Kelce. Those are no brainers. You're starting Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I want to know your thoughts on him coming off this injury.
I like him. He's more involved in the offense now than he was before the injury. He's getting some work in the passing game. He found his way into the end zone in one of the games back. He's
fine.
I like him. He's a high-end RB2, in my opinion.
Yeah,
middle of the road RB2.
He led the team in carries their last game against Denver. 14 carries. He only had 54 yards, so he's not that efficient. But Denver's a tough running team. But you see, he's getting involved in the passing game, guys. That was Darrell Williams' role. So that's why I think I like him moving
kind of
forward.
become non-existent, I guess.
It's kind of disappointing for Darrell Williams owners, thinking that they were going to get a split shift. So that pretty much wraps it up on the Chiefs. No one starting Mecole Hardman, not even me.
Finally.
So, we'll talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. I know when to give up on somebody. Tell me when you're ready to give up on DJ Moore with Cam Newton.
No.
Las Vegas Raiders. You're starting Derek Carr in most in your super flex leagues, but is he worth the start as a QB1 in those 12 teamers this week against the Chiefs?
Not without Waller, man. I don't want him as a QB1. I made Foster Moreau's my guy and everything with one catch last week for.
They don't really have that much of a big play type of guy anymore, so.
What are you talking about? They got Deshaun Jackson, my man.
Really?
They don't use him enough. Though.
One play. You get one target, one play. That's it.
I actually think he saw 2 targets. Like, come on,
the
guy some slack.
Caught one of them, right? For a touchdown, at least.
Yeah, for a tutty.
And it was a terrible route by that one guy.
He's literally your definition of the deepest dart throw you can think of.
Man, but if you dealt with Josh Jacobs shit all season, now it's looking really good with Kenyon Drake being out. He at least
got the targets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and that's another thing since John Gruden got shit canned, man, is that they're finally using him in the passing game. He saw 9 targets last week.
38 yards, though.
Every single one of those targets.
Yeah, that's hot.
He shut up all those haters.
You dance hot.
You dance hot. Thanks. So yeah, we're plugging and playing Josh Jacobs in as a high end. I think RB2. I don't think he's reaching that RB1. I got to see more of this 9 reception game. I think it's just a 1 game sample size with that many receptions. I think he's going to have a higher base.
They are playing Chiefs.
He's going to have a higher baseline with those receptions moving forward. But I just it's hard to see him getting 9 targets every week.
Oh sure. Yeah.
That's my only issue with him. And if
he can average 5, Mike.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. If he can get at least those 5,
cut it in half.
He's going to be a solid RB2.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see Payne Barber being Payne Barber and stealing 10 carries though.
It's not no. It's not John Gruden anymore. I think we're good.
Touche.
I think we're good. That was Gruden's boy, just like Nate Peterman.
But other than Jacobs, I really don't. we can't trust any other pass catcher.
Yeah,
with
Hunter
Waller.
Renfrow, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my apologies. I thought you talked about him.
Mid-tier wide receiver too, no doubt. You just plug him in and you get 11 to 14 fantasy points, and if he gets in the end zone, it's more than that. He's getting the red zone targets, like the one move he put on last week. I think he scored a touchdown. I think that was last week. He put a move on.
It was the week before. He didn't have a touchdown.
Where he went in and then he just broke out to the corner of the end zone. Man, yeah, it's nasty.
All right, we do have a live question here from Marco. He wants to know Justin Herbert this week or Rodgers. Oh. Herbert's going to be without Keenan Allen, possibly without Mike Williams.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers for me against the Bears. Prime time, and Rodgers owns the Bears.
I was just going to say, do you remember the last time he played him? What did he say? He owns the Bears. Mm-hmm. They did the nice, smooth Wikipedia page where he was the owner for him. I like that.
Shocker.
I know, that's like the go-to now. But back to the Raiders. I mean, obviously you're plugging in Hunter Renfrow, but other than him, we can't trust anybody than Waller or Jacobs.
Well, Waller's out. He got
Well, yeah, but you're playing him when you're healthy. I'm just saying, out of trust factor.
You're out on Marona.
No, I'm out.
Way to dump that shit show on me, by the way, Michael Plant.
What shit show?
Darren Waller.
And Antonio Brown.
He got you good, fucker.
It's all right.
Deandre Swift's not playing, so
just holding his shoulder.
Dude, all my trades meaningless.
Meanwhile, Dalvin Cook's over here with a torn labrum. Just, you know what? Fuck you, Deandre Swift.
I don't want to hurt my shoulder. I just won't get touched.
Bang.
So, I mean, that pretty much wraps up that game. Then, Dylan, take us away with those Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns.
How weird is it that the Browns played the Ravens 2 weeks ago, then get a bye, and then play the Ravens again?
I think it's got to be the first time in NFL history where
that's
they play the
nuts,
same team.
Right?
No, it's been done.
I don't think off of the bye, though. It's usually like they'll play by a filler team, and then they'll play again.
I don't know. Somebody look it up. Where's our statistician?
The Browns got to win this game, right? They've been concentrated on the Ravens for 3 straight weeks. And the Ravens, obviously,
if they lose, they're out. So they have to play.
This is a pivotal game for this division.
It's definitely a kitchen sink game, man. This is the one you got to throw everything at it.
And Lamar's playing bad, so now's the time.
Baltimore's banged up. Like, obviously, the Ravens had that controversial go for 2 call at the end of regulation against the Steelers. And it didn't work. And then Harbaugh, after the game, he got questioned about it. He's like, I had no cornerbacks. We had to get out of there.
We had to get out of there.
Let's jump right into Baltimore then. Ike, you already kind of mentioned that Lamar's struggling. But what do we do with him fantasy-wise? You're playing him, right?
You're handcuffed to playing him.
I'm going to say this right now. If you're playing Jalen Hurts, you're playing Lamar Jackson.
You can't play him this week.
Yeah.
No, I know. But that answer, what's everyone doing with Jalen Hurts? Playing him.
But Lamar's not running the ball that much, it seems like.
Come on. He is running the ball. It's just he's making boneheaded mistakes, hyper-targeting Mark Andrews, and just turning the ball over a lot more than he has in his
pull up his rushing stats lately.
Let me go pull that up real quick. You're going to pull that on me. Come on, you little piece of crap.
But, Ike, let's talk about how good Devonta Freeman looks.
He had 8 rushes for 55
I know,
yards
that was sarcasm. They don't.
Hey, 8 for 53 is not bad.
No, 55.
Whatever.
They're not running the ball like they used to, though.
No, that's the problem. It's actually, I think the thing that's hurting Lamar, and I hate to interrupt you guys, I'm sorry for that, is they're actually handing the ball off in the red zone now. They're giving the ball to Devonta Freeman in the red zone. They're not just letting Lamar Jackson run it in. Mm-hmm. He's not getting those touchdowns anymore like he was getting in past.
I wish he would.
I think they're trying to preserve him for the playoffs if they're trying to make that playoff run because, man.
For their one playoff game?
Yeah, well, he's literally been the whole team.
But this has been a year from hell for the Ravens, man.
Mm-hmm.
They lose J.K. Dobbins for the season. They lose Gus Edwards. They lose Marcus Peters. They lose Marlon Humphrey for the season.
All within like a week or two.
I guess just
those first 3.
It's not their year.
But just remember, it was important to get that 22-game preseason win streak.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
It's a big accomplishment.
Are we dropping Rashad Bateman?
No.
Shallow leagues, sure.
0 catches last week, Michael Plant.
You're not starting him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Until Lamar is better. But this defense is bad, and they're going to have to throw it.
You're starting Mark Andrews. Hollywood Brown's really come back down to earth as well. We worried about him?
Still got to start him. Wide receiver 2.
Yeah, still got to start him, but I am a little bit worried.
Yeah, the right answer is you should be a little worried just because Lamar's been struggling so bad.
Yeah,
he cannot throw a deep ball now all of a sudden, so it does hurt Marquise a lot.
Well, it doesn't help that he keeps hyper-targeting Mark Andrews, too.
Jumping over to Cleveland, though.
True.
Baker Mayfield, want nothing to do with him. Even in Superflex leagues, I don't really want to start him.
Baker or Taylor Heineke?
Taylor Heineke.
Taylor.
Not remotely close for me, yeah.
Baker or Mike Glennon?
Baker. I had been starting Tyrod Taylor over Baker, man.
Oh, yeah.
Until he got
Taylor's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, before he got benched.
All right. Enough of those. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
You start both running backs, though. You're
Yeah.
starting Chubb. You're starting Hunt.
I will say this, though, guys. If Deandre Johnson is out on the waiver wire, because I'm sure people dropped him after the Kareem Hunt came back.
I just did.
Exactly. If you have the bench spot and you're a playoff team, man, all it takes is one injury, and we've seen that they're fully willing to put Dearness Johnson.
Or another COVID
Yeah, they're fully willing to put Dearness Johnson in there, man, and he could be one of those plug-and-play one-week guys in the championship that you could use, especially when you got teams resting players.
I'd like to see him on a better team where
he can start or get more work.
Yeah.
But
he looks good, man, when he's had the opportunity. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, like you said, starting the running backs.
I kind of like Jarvis Landry in this matchup, like we talked about with all these bagged up corners that Baltimore has.
It's hard to like a pass catcher in this offense, though.
I understand, but
if anybody, it's got to be him.
I did just kind of shit on Baker a little bit, and then I was just about to tell you that I like 2 of his pass catchers because I don't mind Austin Hooper this week either.
That's what I was just going to say. I think I'm leaning.
Njoku's out, and so is
I'd lean Hooper
and Harrison Bryant.
I'm leaning Hooper. I'm actually going to start him in the league we're in together. Over Noah Fant this week.
Fireman Scott Fishbowl.
Because the Ravens are number 30th against tight ends, allowing points.
All right, go start him.
I'm actually starting Austin Hooper over Noah Fant as well in the league.
Yeah, exactly. Last time they played, Hooper didn't do well. He actually was held without a catch, but that's because David Njoku was taking all the catches, and with him out, they're going to funnel it through.
And Harrison Bryant out too.
I like Hooper over Landry this week, to be honest.
Yep.
But that pretty much wraps up that game. If maybe Ike, you want to lead us on with the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Jets?
I'll probably go out. So no.
Come on, you don't want to talk about your boy finally being able to play?
Who?
Alvin Kamara.
Oh, yay! Too little, too late for me.
Yeah, but what about everybody else?
Hopefully for you guys, as this is a big game for you guys.
Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, and Elijah Moore are the 3 players you're starting in this game.
That's
one borderline guy, Michael Plant. Tevin Coleman is in concussion protocol. Has he been ruled out yet?
He's out.
Yes, he is out. Did you not hear me when I talked about the injuries? Come on, Dylan.
Ty Johnson, man.
You wanted me to listen to all those names you rattled off.
Yeah, dude, that was like 10
minutes. What's the
minutes.
difference? You don't listen to me anyways.
But Ty Johnson, usable or nah?
I mean,
he's worth a dart throw. If you need him.
He's usable based on volume alone because with Michael Carter out and Tevin Coleman being out. But God, temper your expectations.
Although this defense is good.
The Saints are top 5 against the run.
Yeah. But his thing's catching passes too. So
that's what gives him the volume. That's what I like about him with the volume side of things. But, man.
Totally off topic. Zach Wilson won his 2nd Rookie of the Week last week. Most of all rookies. for at least quarterbacks.
What about Mac Jones?
When is he gonna win one?
I don't know.
He threw 3 passes.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
He's had weeks with multiple touchdowns.
But that doesn't mean he's gonna get it.
She should have got the rookie of the week over Zach Wilson.
No,
I'm not saying
Zach Wilson, the babyface god, is just here to stay. All right,
babyface assassin.
The only thing I will say is I'm looking hopeful for Elijah Moore. I do it all the time. Oh my God!
You get his name right.
The next game,
Christina.
New York Giants at the Los Angeles Chargers. We already talked about the Chargers.
Oh, man, you really skipped over that game. That one you wanted no part of, huh?
I told you that. I told you the 3 guys I wanted a part of, and then Ty Johnson we talked about, so that's good enough for me.
All right, well, let me Back into
the Chargers.
Well, no, let me address this live question we got here from your cousin, buddy. Dean wants to know, Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Devonta Freeman this week is his RB2?
I like Clyde. Because I like Clyde this week. Yeah.
Dude,
I lean Clyde. Devonta Freeman has to play against the Browns defense. Their rush defense is good. Their pass defense is bad.
Clyde's going to get more work. I don't think about it. Come on.
They play the Raiders. They're going to be up. If they're
Clyde.
up, they've been known this year at least to run the ball more.
I guess.
But that is a good option. If you have a flex position, Dean, I'd be playing Freeman in the flex.
But back to the Chargers now. Herbert, on our last live question from Marco, we said Rodgers over Herbert. I'm curious where you have Herbert in your rankings this week.
Top 12.
You're going to give us that exact number?
I assume that, yeah.
I'd have to look it up, man. And then
is it towards the back or towards the front? Because I want to say ECR. I thought I saw him at quarterback 3 around.
That's way too high.
Even with the receivers here.
That's way too high.
I think he's a back end QB1 this week. I wouldn't rank him any higher than QB10. But I don't think he's any lower than QB15.
Keep talking, Michael. Plan. I'm looking.
He's got to rely heavily on Eckler and Jared Cook, which he can do.
Eckler was beat up as well.
Fair enough.
They might work out a little bit. Honestly, if we're gonna talk about a sneaky play from this game, give me some Jared Cook.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen out. Mike Williams is gonna be the deep guy. He's gonna take the double teams and all the coverage away. Most likely it's gonna be Jalen Guyton, and Jared Cook. Jared Cook has a little bit more rapport with Justin Herbert. With Keenan Allen being out, Keenan Allen is his safety valve, and it's gonna be Jared Cook probably this week.
Mm-hmm. Just to finish that thought, Justin Herbert is quarterback 4.
Still too high.
I wouldn't put him that high. Yeah, no, I would not put him. I think it's the matchup against the Giants that is so tantalizing.
He's ahead of Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Taysom Hill, Matt Stafford, Russell Wilson, and Kirk Cousins. That rounds out your 12.
I think I would
almost. I would check on my phone, but I don't want to get kicked off.
I'd put Tom Brady ahead of him. I know he's playing the Bills, but it's freaking Tom Brady, guys. I'd put Aaron Rodgers ahead of him.
And Mahomes ahead of him.
I'd put Mahomes ahead of him.
That's about where I'd stop, I think.
Dak Prescott.
Dak is borderline.
Yeah,
that's where it gets fuzzy, yeah.
So 8 or 9, I think we'd have him. I do want to ask you guys this. In case Mike Williams is out on Sunday, Guyton or Josh Palmer?
Guyton.
I think you're going to have the safer floor with Guyton.
Although either one is oof.
But Palmer, at any point, he's the deep guy. And it showed last week, even with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams he's targeting Josh Palmer. So I think your safer bet is going with Guyton. He's going to see more of a workload. And man, if you're feeling lucky, you can throw Josh Palmer in there.
Yep. Then jumping over to the Giants side, it sounds like Glennon should be good to go. Yay. Pass catches are all questionable, like we talked about. Don't really have much to say about them either.
You're playing whoever's healthy.
I'm not playing Kenny Galladay.
If he's the only one,
I don't like Mike Glennon, so
I was gonna say,
I don't believe it.
With that pencil-necked geek Mike Glennon, you wanna start
Just
Kenny
start
Galladay?
Jake Fromm.
If we were starting Brandon Cooks with David Mills throwing him the ball earlier this year, why can't we start Kenny Galladay with
Isn't
Mike
it
Glennon
Davis Mills?
Davis Mills, David Mills, General Mills.
Who
Bucks
gives
at
a shit?
6. I don't know.
That was very good.
You're funny, man. Let me ask you about Saquon. If it wasn't this matchup, I don't think I'd want to start him just with him dealing with that ankle injury and how bad the Giants' offense is. And Michael Pye, you want to hear a fucked up stat about red zone touches?
Oh man, I heard about him too. Go ahead.
From Matthew Berry at Field Yates, like you're gonna shit your pants. He hasn't seen a red zone touch since week 4.
I remember hearing this earlier today.
Why?
That offense is terrible and probably hasn't seen the red zone since week 4.
And he was hurt.
I was going to say he was hurt for a few weeks.
Still, man, hasn't seen a red zone touch since week 4.
He's been back 3 weeks. Like, nah.
The crazy thing about it is Secret Squirrel, Daniel Dodd goes, so is that like from the 5-yard line and in? And Field 8 goes, no, that's from the 20-yard line. Like, really? Really? He hasn't seen a touch in the 20-yard. What the hell is going on?
That's bad.
This matchup is sexy, though. I think this is a week you have to play him, and then matchup. I don't have the rest of the season schedule pulled up, but he's matchup proof or matchup dependent the rest of the season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd still playing him, but the matchup dependency depends on his ceiling. He's got an okay floor. I mean, he's got a floor. He's a starting running back that's not injured this week. I mean,
like, who would you rather have rest of season, Devonta Freeman or Saquon Barkley?
That one's
Barkley,
a tough
I
one.
guess. I'm going with talent, I guess. Barkley.
I would rather have Barkley. It's a close one though.
Saquon Barkley or James Robinson rest of the season?
James.
Come on, make it quick, Laplante. Saquon Barkley or Kareem Hunt?
Saquon,
I guess.
I like him. I like his upside with Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon will dump off the ball to him.
Last one,
Maybe.
Saquon or CEH?
CEH. All right, another quick one here from Dean. He wants to know Devonta Freeman or DJ Moore in the flex then.
DJ.
No, Devonta Freeman.
Ooh.
At least that's my opinion, Dean. You want to listen to the guy not wearing a hat or who looks professional and,
You look professional? Are you kidding
How the
me?
fuck does that work?
Professional has never came out of someone's mouth.
I needed Devonta Freeman in the flex over DJ Moore. I mean,
Nope.
That one's close. That matchup for DJ Moore is really good. So
do I need to remind you who's throwing him the ball again?
I think
Cam likes throwing to him.
Let me finish. I think I lead DJ Moore. Mike, you did just talk about how good the Cleveland Browns run defense was. So I think I'm gonna lead DJ Moore there.
I'd lean the volume with Devonta Freeman.
We just talked about he only rushed it 8 times last week, Peckerhead.
I mean, DJ Moore ain't seeing 8 targets though.
He might.
I got a question for you. Who do you think Cam Newton likes throwing the ball to more, DJ Moore or the ground?
I thought you were gonna
the other team.
I mean, he throws it to the ground more than the other team.
Sure.
He does like doing that. Puts all of his might into it.
Yes, he does. I mean, we pretty much wrapped up the Giants. I mean,
Yep. Take us through the next one.
Only start a wide receiver from them if it's just one healthy.
Oh, what about Evan Ingram, guys?
No, don't start.
He had 10 fantasy points last week.
I'm starting him in our home league.
I'm not.
Why not, right?
Chargers.
No.
Chargers are decent against the tight ends. So we'll move on to our next one here. The Detroit Lions at the Denver Broncos.
The 1-win Detroit Lions with a tie. Yep.
Or is it 1-11 and 1?
He likes my hat, so suck it, Laplante.
1-11 and 1.
Dean, can you even see his hat with his lack of light?
It says Coors Light, bro.
I don't know. That with the looks of his basement, man, it kind of looking like Ed Gein. It kind of looks like that hat's made out of human skin.
How is this Ned Gein? It looks like a log cabin almost.
I mean,
Laplante has a good setup for 1 week. And
yeah, 1 week. There's no holes.
Except for the Coors Light can that looks like the microphone.
Still legit.
Take us through the next game, man.
No, I don't want to. You wanted to talk about the 1-win Lions. I can't start.
They won a game.
I can't start anybody on this team. Besides TJ Hawkinson if he's healthy, but he might not be healthy. He's got the illness in his hand. So
I gotta hear your thoughts on Godwin Igwebuike.
If it was a better matchup, I would like him.
I kind of wish you would have said his name better.
What's his name, Mike?
I don't know. But I know it's not Igwebuike.
I was gonna say, how do you know he said it correctly if you don't know how to pronounce it?
Godwin Igwebuike. That's probably what it is. Igwebuike.
Let's have a boogie.
Igwebuike.
Yeah, because spelling it always helps.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be pretty close.
So yeah, Jamal Williams on the COVID list. Deandre Swift has been ruled out. If you can start him. He's a body.
What about Amon-Ra, man?
This defense is decent. They held the Chiefs to 22 points last week. I mean, I know the Chiefs' offense hasn't been great lately, but the defense is good for the Denver Broncos. Patrick Surtain is making that draft pick look a little better than what it.
Yeah, I don't want any part of the Lions' offense.
No. So we can move on to the Denver Broncos here. I know your boy Javonte Williams coming off a big week against the Chiefs. Melvin Gordon looks like he's going to be back in the lineup. Can we trust he's going to have that same workload? Maybe a 60-40 split? Because
he's not going to get. Yeah, he's not going to get the same workload that we saw.
But I think he took over.
Yeah, I think he's a top 12 running back this week, especially in this matchup. And maybe Gordon's a top 24 guy. They could 100% both find the end zone this week in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Javonte has the higher upside in this matchup, but Melvin Gordon is definitely flex-worthy candidate. Yeah. I know Ike likes hearing that.
Indeed.
So, man, the one I really want to talk about, because this is the guy that's really been frustrating everybody that held on to Jerry Jeudy during that injury, man. He has just been stinking it up lately. It's clear the Broncos want to run the ball. Can we see this turn around for Jeudy?
If you're not starting him here, you're not starting him rest of the season. So
I think the concern with me in this game for Jeudy, and I'm being a Jeudy owner, is the Lions aren't going to be able to keep up with the Broncos. And I'm sorry,
I just think the Broncos are going to run all over him.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They're just going to run all over him, and I don't know if the Lions are going to be able to stop that.
Is Cortland Sutton droppable?
Getting there.
He is getting there. All it takes is
same with Noah Fant.
He's in Allen Robinson territory, guys.
No, Allen Robinson's
no, don't give me no.
Cortland Sutton at least had a few good
that's
games.
What I'm saying. Allen Robinson's best game this year has been 4 catches for 65 yards.
But ever since Jerry Jeudy came back from that injury, you go look at Cortland Sutton's numbers, and they are Allen Robinson-esque.
I agree.
Yeah, but at least he had a game of over 100 yards once this year.
That yes, when Jerry Jeudy was not healthy.
But it shows that he's capable of it. It doesn't look like Allen Robinson's capable of it.
That's what I'm concerned about. He doesn't want to be there. We've known that.
All right, yep. So, I mean, like I do agree with you. He's borderline droppable at this point. I'd keep him for depth.
Listen to this. Week 7 and beyond, half PPR points, 9.3, 5, 3.4, 3.9, 2.7, and 2.5.
It's impressive stat getting, but you know as well as I do, we go by PPR on this podcast. Come on now.
Okay, so those are going to be 5?
I'm trying to defend him over here. Come on.
Oh, it's gross, man. I think he's droppable. I think you can do it.
Cortland Sutton or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Cortland.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think I lean Cortland.
Why?
Honestly, I think I'm just doing enough name value.
Yeah, that's not a good idea right now. Like fantasy playoffs.
Do you really think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to do anything, though, against the Broncos?
Did you just hear those numbers I just said, though? I bet you that 1 week, Michael Plant, he had more points than Cortland Sutton has had since week 7.
Amon-Ra?
Yeah.
I'll go look for you.
I bet you he had close to 20 fantasy points last week. So I want to say
but Cortland had back-to-back good games, I thought, that one time.
Amon-Ra had 10 receptions for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. 24.8 people.
Hell yeah.
Points. All right.
Cortland Sutton has 9 catches in his last 5 games.
All
That's
right.
nice.
That's the first game all year that Amon-Ra has seen double-digit targets. So
9 catches in 5 games.
First time he's seen double-digit targets.
Move on.
I don't like that question either. I didn't like it.
That's one of those tilting ones. I don't want to answer it. Move on. So I'll let you move forward here with this. This one's gonna be a good one. Possible shootout potential here. Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dylan, what's your thoughts on Tom Brady this week? We already know I like him.
I think he's gonna be fine. Tre'Davious White's out for the season, so the defense isn't as scary as it once was. I mean, he's got all his weapons besides Antonio Brown. He's still suspended. He's got his connection going with Gronk. I like him too. I'm not downgrading him too far. How about you, Ike?
Nope. He's still up there for me.
Yep, and if we're all high praise on Tom Brady, that means we're all good on his pieces this week. That means we're starting Leonard Fournette with confidence. Mm-hmm. We're starting Gronk with confidence. You're starting Mike Evans. You're starting Chris Godwin. There's a reason I didn't say with confidence with Mike Evans. You never have confidence with him.
He's doing fine this year.
Yeah, but still not confident. Chris Godwin's the one that's been sneaky good this year.
He's had his off games, though.
Yes, he has. And he's also been injured a little bit, but, I mean, he has been killing it. So we'll move on to the Buffalo Bills here. I mean, you're starting Josh Allen in this juicy matchup against the Buccaneers. Could throw all over him. I mean, this is probably the one. This is the player I think who's going to be QB1 this week is Josh Allen.
Ooh, okay.
A lot of people are depending on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need a win in the league. I own him, and so it would be nice.
Me too.
I'll tell you 3 people that I hope you're not depending on this week, and that's Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, and Matt Breida.
Don't start any of them.
No, it is a shit show.
I stayed away from all those guys, and
especially against Tampa
season,
Bay.
So yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, you don't want to. You can't run against the Tampa Bay defense unless your name is Khalil Herbert. But you're starting Stephon Diggs. I want you because Stephon Diggs is the clear-cut number 1, but rank the other wide receivers for this Bills offense because man, Gabe Davis just keeps showing up. I want you.
I was just going to mention him. I was going to say I kind of wanted. He can be a decent throw.
Beasley, Gabe Davis, and Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I think he's got more upside than Emmanuel Sanders now. To be honest,
but not Cole. I think you got to put Cole ahead of Gabe still, especially in this game.
Hey, Dylan, just some confirmation here from your cousin. Allen Robinson has been, and if you can't see that, that's a trash can.
100%.
Oh, we know.
Oh, no, he's froze now?
What happened to him?
Oh, no. All right, well, I guess I could
our producer, bro.
It's the gruesome twosome now.
Hell
so
yeah.
Keep going through it. Sorry about the technical difficulties tonight, guys. This is kind of been a shit show. But yeah, we're starting Godwin.
How about me figuring it out near the end?
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
And then you're also starting Dawson Knox.
Yes.
But next game, San Francisco 49ers at the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this game as well. But I don't like Joe Burrow this week against San Francisco, especially with that finger injury he sustained last week.
It kind of hurts the value of all the other pass catchers.
Definitely. Let me ask you to rank these receivers again the rest of the season. Are you still ranking Jamar Chase over Higgins? Because I know we talked you into it at some point.
And then all of a sudden, Jamar Chase has gone downhill, and now T. Higgins is catching 100 yards a game. I would still put Jamar Chase over him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and Chase.
It's close.
Chase had another long touchdown in his hands last night, and last week, and he bobbled it right to the defender for an interception. It's like, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Tyler Boyd, you could basically forget about.
Yeah, he's irrelevant. I guess I shouldn't say 100% irrelevant, but yeah, you don't love him.
Right.
You're starting Joe Mixon every week, but yeah, like I said, I would temper expectations with Joe Burrow's finger being messed up.
Agreed.
But jumping over to the 49ers, Garoppolo, nothing more than a QB2 in Superflex leagues.
Yep.
I want to ask you, Ike, JaMychal Hasty or Jeff Wilson with Elijah Mitchell being out?
I'm going Jeff Wilson. He's showing although Hasty played very well when he had to come in earlier in the year, but I believe Wilson has a better body of work that he'll get more carries.
Yeah, we've definitely seen Jeff Wilson do his thing. We know that Kyle Shanahan relies on him in the red zone at times. JaMychal Hasty is going to get some work. He's going to get some work in the passing game, but I still lead Jeff Wilson with that touchdown.
Debo out?
Debo is questionable with that groin.
I was going to say he might get a couple carries too.
Mm-hmm. I did not see if he practiced today, but if anyone saw the practice report today, that would be whatever that would be a good indication if he's going to play or not. You love George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk, he didn't blow up like I thought he was going to last week with Debo being down. This matchup against the Bengals defense, who's been streaky this season, to say the least. How do you think of Ayuk this week?
I don't like him.
Okay.
No. He's too inconsistent, and George Kittle seems to be the guy.
He's getting funneled so much work,
especially with Debo out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's about time Kittle has done something, man. He has just been killing it these last.
Good time for him to be doing something.
Yep, very good timing. As long as his owners haven't tanked with him being as bad as he was and being injured earlier this year. Oh, jumping over to this Sunday night football game. I'm super glad the Bears are going to be embarrassed on primetime television. The Bears at the Packers.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Good news is that we actually get to see Justin Fields this week. He was cleared. You don't really want to start him for fantasy purposes, though. Packers defense has been pretty stingy.
I only really want to start David Montgomery.
Yeah, definitely he's a bust start. He looked so good last week, man, in that game. But then Allen Robinson comes back, and that hurts Darnell Mooney's value a little bit, in my opinion. And also, it's going to take away from Cole Kmet's value, what he did have.
Do not start Allen Robinson either. Whoever is listening, please don't do it.
Jumping over to the Packers, though, you're starting Aaron Rodgers. We talked about it. We like Aaron this week. Is this – I have a feeling this is going to be a 50-50 split for the rest of the season with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, man. Do you agree with me?
I do, unfortunately, because I had shares of Aaron Jones up until recently.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you could start both of them, in my opinion. I'd say Aaron Jones is a borderline running back one, and I'd say Dillon's probably
a game like this, though. This might be more of A.J. Dillon getting more work because they might not want to hurt Aaron Jones for the playoffs, and they will be up. So, why would they be passing to him and stuff like that? So it could be A.J. Dillon 2 random touchdowns or something like that.
Yep. You're starting Devontae Adams. Any other pass catcher pique your interest here?
No, not even a little bit.
All right. Let's jump into the last game then. This is the game of the week by far, and we don't get it until Monday. Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's running the ball again, Ike. He has QB1 upside every single week. You there? Oh man, he's frozen as well. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep rolling along here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Kyler Murray, he's a starter obviously the rest of the season. James Conner, he's touchdown dependent once Chase Edmonds comes back. He was they haven't brought him back 100% yet, but he was his window is now open to return from IR. Pass catchers, you're starting DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. You're started. That's really about it for the pass catchers. Zach Ertz is tight end 1-ish for the week, I guess. I temper your expectations on Christian Kirk. He caught one ball against this Rams defense last time they played each other, so it's not great. He might get lined up by Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's playing the slot a little bit more this season, obviously. Yeah, that's it for the Cardinals. Then jumping over to the Rams. Matthew Stafford, low-end QB1 this week. This isn't an easy matchup going against the Cardinals. The backfield for the Rams is tough now with Sony Michel showing out last week and Darrell Henderson being banged up. This offense doesn't really run with a split backfield, so it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen. But I don't really like either guys this week in this matchup. You're obviously starting Cooper Kupp. I know he's got a toe injury, but it's really nothing to be worried about. I do like Van Jefferson in this matchup as well and moving forward. And then Odell Beckham, he's really shut me up. I talked a little bit of shit about Odell last week and the week before, but he's caught 2 touchdowns. But I'm just worried that he's touchdown dependent still and big play dependent, and he's just not someone you can trust week in and week out, in my opinion. And then Tyler Higbee is really just that low-end tight end 1 streamer option. He's not someone I'm really excited for. But yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps this week up. I'm sorry, guys, about all the technical difficulties, and you had to listen to me go solo for the last 5-ish minutes of the podcast. So yeah, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. You can find all my written content at fantasysixpack.net. I write the Start Sit article every week. You follow me on Twitter at dclemens2222. Please give my co-hosts who aren't here anymore, give them a follow as well. Mike Bonney is at Ike2121, and then Michael Plant is at @belike_Mike with 2 eyes. Give us a follow. And now we'll be back next week. Oh, look who just decided to come back at the very end of the show. But I was just wrapping up. Like, you got anything to add?
Nice, sweet. No, I do not.
Yeah.
Just bless you guys, though.
All right, guys. We'll be back next week. Hopefully having better.
Yeah, hopefully.
Better technical stuff. So I'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya. So plan's supposed to end this thing?